I'll be entering this magnificent facility. This is the Gyamadudu Museum. It is yet to be completed, but when it is finally completed, it's going to accommodate the history, the sad history of slavery. Aside that, it will show artifacts of the liberation role of our local and international heroes. On the outskirts of the Himan township, in the serene village of Gyamadudu, sits a carefully curated facility chronicling the powerful triumph of the independence movement of Ghana. The Gyamadudu Museum, located on a 10-acre land, comprises 9 interlinked domes accommodating compartments for galleries, cultural exhibition collections, and artifacts that reflect the history of the Atlantic slave trade. The facility, under the care and management of Himan Hene Nana Apeu Wiafe Abebu, contains serene vegetation to exhibit featured artifacts, artworks, and interactive displays. It has spaces for statues and images of Ashanti kings and queen mothers, including the occupants of the Golden Stool, the Ashanti Hene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Nana Nyako Kusiamoa, the first Ashanti Hema Otumfuo Opoku Ware II, and the brave warrior of the Ashantis, Ya Ashantiwa Ojeso. Samuel Atafrimpong is the designer of the cultural artifacts and the caretaker of the museum.
My intention behind this initiative is to teach our culture. Many people are ignorant and less appreciative of indigenous culture. Nana saw the need to provide an avenue for enlightenment.
We are currently heading to the Anyinasu River. The Anyinasu River is an auxiliary feature of the Gyamadudu Museum. What we understand is that this is an ancient river that contains a deity which provides the heartfelt request of the people who seek it. Ago! Okay.
It's not an ordinary river. It contains gods and protects the people.
The Gyamadudu Museum has an overwhelming package of Ashanti tradition. This particular place features a shrine. A set-up shrine which was done, decoration, everything was done by the gentleman behind me, Mr. Ates. It is supposed to give off the Ashanti traditional shrine houses that were there in the olden days. The Kwabre Himan township is believed to have served as the transporting route for slaves during the transatlantic slave trade between the 1700s and 1800s in Ghana. It also reflects slavery conditions through the brilliantly crafted statues. This museum provides a wide array of some of the activities that took place during the Atlantic slave trade. Just as you can see, here is a statue of a middle-aged man being put in chains on the neck and also chains on his legs. And you can see a depiction of how he was struggling and begging for his life. Samuel Atafrimpong has a depiction of the untold narrative.
When the creative arts are done, this will be a ship depicting how slaves are coerced and transported.
This particular creative structure represents a graveyard. What we have been told is that Kwabre Himan was a route for transportation of slaves, and these 13 graves that we see represent the 13 Europeans that were killed in the fights between slave masters and people of Kwabre Himan. The Gyamadudu Museum features chambers and curated forest statues of African leaders who have contributed to the liberation of Ghana and Africa. The place honors statesmen like Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, Nelson Mandela of South Africa, Muammar Gaddafi of Libya, and Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. At least 1,500 African Americans have moved to Ghana since 2019 after government's campaign of Year of Return. At the Gyamadudu Museum, a special place has been dedicated to diasporans who wish to reconnect with their ancestry in the afterlife. Just as you can see behind me, Reynard V. Hall has been buried here alongside one other here at Heman Ancestral Memorial Garden.
Many foreigners believe their roots can be traced here, so a feature at this museum will provide a resting place for those who want to be buried here.
To the youth in the area, the creative monument represents a golden opportunity to boost the local economy and tourism in the Kwabre-Heman township. Samuel Atafrempong says the museum will play a vital role in the economic development upon its completion. The economic activities within the town will improve. Nana will employ the youth in managing this place. The construction of the Gyamadudu Museum, which started in 2020, is 90% completed. More African Americans and foreigners are trooping into Africa, including Ghana. More than 400 years that the ancestors left as slaves. This facility provides a good and a vivid representation of such rich culture of slavery and the Ashanti Kingdom. Reporting for Joy News from Kwabre-Heman, my name is Clinton.